Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to this channel. We're back with another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a game that we've all been waiting for a long time for it to release, Far Cry 6. I know you're all excited to hear more about it, so without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we do that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Far Cry 6 leaves behind the Montana of Far Cry 5 and New Dawn, and heads for a Caribbean vacation in the fictional country of Yara, where things are unsurprisingly a bit chaotic. Ubisoft's next shooter is set amidst the revolution trying to oust a brutal dictator from power. Here's what we know about Far Cry 6 so far, including what's new for the shooter series and its potential ties to Far Cry 3. Far Cry 6's release date is October 7, 2021 for PC, Stadia, the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and Xbox One and Xbox Series X. That's not the original release date, however. It was first planned to launch back in February, but was delayed near the end of 2020 along with a few other Ubisoft games. Another rumor via a Microsoft store listing suggested it might arrive in May, but in a gameplay reveal Ubisoft finally announced the October release date. The answer to that question is a big no. Ubisoft has confirmed that Far Cry 6 will release for Windows PC exclusively on the Epic Games Store and the Ubisoft Store, and will also be available on its subscription service, Ubisoft Plus, but it won't be on Steam. There will be co-op in Far Cry 6, though at the moment Ubisoft isn't saying much about it yet. Previous games on the series have had co-op such as Far Cry 5, which lets you play alongside a friend once you'd completed the introduction to the game and left Dutch's Island. Far Cry New Dawn also lets you play co-op, though some of the progressions through the story missions only counted towards the host's game, not their pals. The reveal trailer for Far Cry 6 from July of 2020 introduces its main villain, Yara's dictator, Anton Castillo, and his son Diego. Anton is intent on suppressing a guerrilla revolution by any means necessary, with Diego following in his footsteps. In the reveal trailer, Anton passes down one of those sinister lessons, telling Diego that he will need to keep a tight hold on the people of Yara with the helpful visual learning aid of a life grenade. Definitely not the lesson that your average 13-year-old is learning from their father. Ubisoft also released a Far Cry 6 title sequence trailer that lets on what some of Yara's history might be, potentially wealth gained through plants grown for pharmaceuticals. Finally, a bit of gameplay. We can see our hero Dani, a Yara native, sparking the revolution against Castillo, and while the trailer shows off what looks like a mostly familiar Far Cry experience, there are some new features that look interesting. For instance, you'll be able to holster your gun, which will allow you to blend in with the local population. As long as you're not in a restricted area, enemy soldiers won't automatically aggro when they see you, provided your weapon is holstered. This will let you explore the world without having to always hide from or engage with enemy troops. That's a big change from a series where enemies try to kill you the second they see you. You can also ride horses, which were weirdly absent in Far Cry 5, especially considering it took place in Montana, and instead of standard quest markers on your map, some missions will give you a photo on your in-game phone to help you track down your mission location. It's a bit like the treasure hunts you see in games like Red Dead Redemption 2, just trying to pin down a location based on an image, and could make the world more interesting to explore. Ubisoft say that you'll be able to choose to play Far Cry 6 as a man or woman, depending on your choice. Dani will be voiced by either Sean Ray or Nisa Gondos. We knew that if we're going to tell the revolution story, if we're going to tell a story about someone in a guerrilla movement, you need to have that personal connection with them, says Kabari. You need someone who's rooted in the world, who has a background, so we wanted proper performance capture. We wanted to have a voice. As in Far Cry 5, you'll be able to have some pals fighting alongside you, but in Far Cry 6 they're strictly of the animal variety, like a little dog named Chorizo. He has a doggy wheelchair and can be used to distract enemies so you can get the drop on them. He is just that cute. There's also a crocodile named Guapo, and he's not quite as cuddly as Chorizo is. Guapo will straight up kill and eat your foes if you're looking for a more direct approach. As for human companions, you may sometimes fight alongside other people on the certain missions, but it won't be like Far Cry 5 where you can ring up a pal and have them follow you everywhere. In Far Cry 6 you'll be fighting in a revolution against the rule of Yara's dictator Anton Castillo, who has been in power for 50 years. It appears to be a dangerous time for the country, with the trailer showing government agents with guns and riot shields and the civilians with explosives. Ubisoft says its writing team spent time in Cuba getting to know the island and meeting former guerrilla revolutionaries that influenced the game. When you're looking at something as complex as an island that's been essentially cut off from the rest of the world for 50 years, been in an economic downturn, electing this leader on the back of this idea of building a new paradise. The idea with Anton is he definitely lured people into believing this was the only answer for them, that he was the one that was going to solve all their problems, Khavari says. And so for us, it became super interesting on the character's side to explore the idea of, there are definitely people who voted for him, that believed in him, that now are regretting that choice, and there are those who still support him. The intersection of those demographics and worldviews and opinions is something that plays out in the story as well. Ubisoft say that Anton witnessed his own father being executed 50 years ago, part of how he rationalizes his policies and the views that he attempts to pass on to his own son, Diego. He believes that not only do the Castillos deserve to be in power, but they're the only ones that are going to be able to see Yara through to becoming a paradise once again. Ubisoft haven't said yet how Dani becomes involved with the two Castillos just yet, but Khavari tells Game Informer that that triangle of characters between Anton, Diego and Dani is absolutely crucial. Past Far Cry games have come with handy map making and mission editing tools, which have long been a neat feature. Over in a recent QA with Far Cry 6 developers, the team confirmed that arcade mode and its map builder aren't coming back for the newest game though. Removing this mode from our plan was a difficult decision, but allowed us to focus our efforts on the main campaign, transporting players into the heart of a modern-day guerrilla revolution, game director Alexander Latunda said. After the Far Cry 6 reveal trailer, fans began speculating that Far Cry 6 could actually be a prequel to Far Cry 3. The theory hinges on Diego Castillo being a young Vaz Montenegro based on the scar both have on their right eyebrow. Vaz's voice actor Michael Mando teased a possible return to the role during a Reddit QA with fans, saying, "Vaz is my spirit animal. Having co-created that character is something that will always be dear to me. I still get recognized as Vaz, and I still feel the outpouring of love for that character. Makes me very happy. Who knows, maybe I will reprise the role very soon." Vaz is a fan-favorite villain of the series, so folks would certainly welcome his return, though things may not be quite so simple. In Far Cry 6's reveal trailer, you can see Diego wearing what look like modern headphones, which doesn't exactly square with him being the younger version of Vaz, who was born in 1985 and would have been Diego's age in the late 90s. Consider this one wishful thinking for now. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let us know your opinions on Far Cry 6 in the comment section below.